Deep in the heart of the Black Hollow Forest, a cursed treasure lies hidden, guarded by ancient spirits and dark magic. When a group of treasure hunters, led by the fearless and resourceful Captain Isabella Drake, ventures into the forest in search of the legendary fortune, they must confront the deepest fears and the sinister forces that protect the treasure. The Black Hollow Forest had always been a place of mystery and fear. Tales of ghostly apparitions, unexplained disappearances, and malevolent spirits had kept most people away. But for Captain Isabella Drake, these tales were nothing more than a challenge. Known for her daring exploits and insatiable thirst for adventure, Isabella had spent years seeking out the world's most elusive treasures. The legend of Black Hollow Forest's cursed fortune was one she could not resist. Isabella's crew was loyal and as daring as she was. There was Finn, her right-hand man, a burly sailor with a heart of gold and nerves of steel. Then there was Layla, a cunning thief with a talent for uncovering hidden traps and secrets. The crew was rounded out by Marcus, a scholar and linguist with an encyclopedic knowledge of ancient legends and languages. Together, they made an unbeatable team. The journey began with a map, discovered in the attic of an old seaside mansion. The map, though weathered and faded, clearly depicted the location of a hidden treasure deep within Black Hollow Forest. Intrigued by the promise of untold riches and the thrill of the hunt, Isabella and her crew set sail for the forest, undeterred by the warnings of the locals.
Isabella's crew was loyal and as daring as she was. There was Finn, her right-hand man, a burly sailor with a heart of gold and nerves of steel. Then there was Layla, a cunning thief with a talent for uncovering hidden traps and secrets. The crew was rounded out by Marcus, a scholar and linguist with an encyclopedic knowledge of ancient legends and languages. Together, they made an unbeatable team. The journey began with a map, discovered in the attic of an old seaside mansion. The map, though weathered and faded, clearly depicted the location of a hidden treasure deep within Black Hollow Forest. Intrigued by the promise of untold riches and the thrill of the hunt, Isabella and her crew set sail for the forest, undeterred by the warnings of the locals. As they ventured into the forest, the atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive. The dense canopy overhead blocked out most of the sunlight, casting eerie shadows on the forest floor. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, and the silence was punctuated only by the occasional rustle of leaves or distant call of a bird. The deeper they went, the more they felt the presence of something watching them. One night, as they made camp, Marcus shared a disturbing discovery. He had been translating some of the ancient runes they had found along the way and had learned of a dark curse placed upon the treasure. The runes spoke of a powerful sorcerer who had hidden his fortune in the forest, binding it with a curse to protect it from thieves. Anyone who sought the treasure would be haunted by the sorcerer's vengeful spirit, and their souls would be claimed by the forest. Despite the ominous warning, Isabella refused to turn back. She was determined to find the treasure, no matter the cost. The next day, they pressed on, following the map through treacherous terrain and labyrinthine paths. As they approached the heart of the forest, the trees grew twisted and gnarled, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The air grew colder, and a thick fog settled around them, obscuring their path. As night fell, the crew set up camp in a small clearing. The fire flickered weakly, barely able to dispel the encroaching darkness. Finn took the first watch, standing guard with his musket at the ready. The hours passed uneventfully, but just as he was about to wake Layla for her turn, he heard a faint whispering in the trees. Straining his ears, he could just make out the words, "Leave this place, or suffer the curse." Finn's heart raced as he scanned the shadows for any sign of movement. Suddenly, a chilling breeze swept through the clearing, extinguishing the fire and plunging them into darkness. The whispering grew louder, more insistent, and Finn saw ghostly figures emerging from the fog. He called out to the others, rousing them from their sleep. The crew gathered together, weapons drawn, as the spirits closed in. Their translucent forms shimmered in the moonlight, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. Marcus frantically recited an incantation he had learned from the runes, hoping to ward off the spirits. To their relief, the spirits hesitated, their advance slowing. Taking advantage of the momentary reprieve, Isabella led her crew deeper into the forest, guided by the faint glow of the moon through the fog. The spirits continued to follow, but kept their distance, as if wary of Marcus's incantation. After what felt like hours, they finally reached a massive stone structure hidden among the trees, a forgotten temple, overgrown with vines and moss. Inside the temple, they found a grand hall lined with ancient statues and carvings. At the far end of the hall stood a large stone altar, upon which lay the treasure they had been seeking. Gold coins, jeweled artifacts, and priceless relics were piled high, their brilliance undiminished by the ages. But as they approached the altar, the temperature plummeted, and the air grew thick with a sense of impending doom. Marcus stepped forward, reading aloud the inscriptions on the walls. They told of the sorcerer who had once ruled over these lands, a man of great power and ambition. In his quest for immortality, he had bound his soul to the treasure, ensuring that he would live on as long as it remained undisturbed. The curse was his final act of defiance, a safeguard against those who would seek to claim his legacy. Isabella reached out to touch the treasure, but as her fingers brushed the gold, a deafening roar echoed through the temple. The spirits that had been following them burst into the hall, their forms coalescing into a single, towering figure, the sorcerer himself. His eyes burned with fury as he raised his hand, and the ground beneath them began to tremble. The crew was thrown into chaos as the sorcerer unleashed his wrath. The statues lining the hall came to life, attacking with stone swords and spears. Marcus continued to chant his incantation, trying to weaken the sorcerer's power, while Finn and Layla fought off the animated statues. Isabella, undeterred, focused on the treasure, determined to break the curse. In the midst of the battle, she noticed a hidden compartment beneath the altar. Inside was a small, ornate box, inscribed with the same runes Marcus had been studying. She called out to Marcus, who quickly deciphered the runes. The box contained the sorcerer's heart, the source of his power and the key to breaking the curse. With no time to lose, Isabella grabbed the box and hurled it to the ground, shattering it into pieces. A blinding light filled the hall, and the sorcerer let out a final, agonized scream before vanishing into the ether. The statues crumbled to dust, and the spirits were finally laid to rest. The curse had been broken. Exhausted but victorious, the crew gathered the treasure and made their way out of the temple. As they emerged from the forest, the first light of dawn broke through the trees, casting a warm glow on their weary faces. They had not only found the treasure but had also freed the forest from the sorcerer's dark influence. Captain Isabella Drake and her crew returned to civilization as heroes, their names forever etched in the annals of legend. The tale of their journey into Black Hollow Forest became one of the most celebrated stories of their time, a testament to their courage, determination, and unwavering spirit. In the weeks following their return, the crew enjoyed the fruits of their labor. They sold some of the treasure and divided the profits, each member finding ways to fulfill their long-held dreams. Finn bought a plot of land by the sea, where he planned to build a home and start a family. Layla invested in a network of informants and safehouses, ensuring her reputation as the best thief in the land. Marcus, ever the scholar, used his share to fund expeditions to uncover more forgotten histories and ancient languages. Isabella, however, felt a restlessness growing within her. The taste of adventure and the thrill of discovery had left her yearning for more. The world was vast, and she knew there were countless mysteries waiting to be unraveled. One evening, as she sat by the fire in a seaside tavern, nursing a glass of rum, she was approached by a stranger cloaked in shadow. The stranger introduced himself as Ezekiel, a fellow treasure hunter and former rival. He had heard of their exploits and was intrigued by the mention of Marcus's incantation. Ezekiel revealed that he had come into possession of a similar map, one that hinted at an even greater treasure hidden in the depths of the Sahara Desert. The map spoke of an ancient city buried beneath the shifting sands, guarded by elemental forces and powerful guardians. Isabella's eyes sparkled with interest. The prospect of another adventure, one that could rival or even surpass the Black Hollow Forest, was too tempting to resist. She gathered her crew, and they set sail once more, this time towards the arid expanse of the Sahara. The journey was long and arduous, with treacherous seas and scorching deserts testing their resolve. But their bond, forged in the heart of Black Hollow Forest, remained unbreakable. As they approached the desert, they encountered a tribe of nomads who spoke of the cursed city. They told tales of a powerful king who had ruled over the desert with an iron fist, amassing a vast fortune and binding his essence to the sands. His downfall had come when he attempted to control the elemental forces, resulting in the city being swallowed by the desert, never to be seen again. Guided by the map and the nomads' tales, Isabella and her crew ventured into the heart of the Sahara. The heat was oppressive, and the shifting sands made progress difficult. But their determination never wavered. After days of relentless searching, they finally stumbled upon the remains of the ancient city, half buried beneath the dunes. The city was a marvel of engineering and artistry, with towering stone structures and intricate carvings that had withstood the test of time. The entrance to the king's tomb was hidden beneath a colossal statue, its eyes gleaming with a malevolent light. As they descended into the tomb, they felt a familiar chill in the air, a reminder of the curse that lay within. The tomb was filled with traps and puzzles, each more deadly and complex than the last. But with Layla's cunning, Marcus's knowledge, and Finn's strength, they managed to navigate the treacherous passages. At the heart of the tomb, they found the king's sarcophagus, adorned with precious gems and guarded by stone warriors. Isabella stepped forward, her hand resting on the lid of the sarcophagus. As she began to open it, the ground trembled, and the stone warriors came to life. The elemental forces of the desert converged upon them, sandstorms swirling and lightning crackling through the air. The battle was fierce, with each member of the crew fighting for their lives. Marcus once again relied on his knowledge of ancient languages, reciting incantations to weaken the elemental forces. Layla darted between the stone warriors, disabling traps and finding hidden switches that controlled the tomb's defenses. Finn fought with all his might, using his strength to protect his friends and hold back the Guardians. In the midst of the chaos, Isabella reached the king's heart, a glowing crystal pulsating with dark energy. She knew that destroying it was the only way to break the curse and claim the treasure. With a final, determined strike, she shattered the crystal, unleashing a blinding light that engulfed the tomb. When the light faded, the elemental forces were gone, and the stone warriors had crumbled to dust. The curse was broken, and the treasure lay before them, gold, jewels, and artifacts of immense value. Exhausted but triumphant, they gathered the treasure and made their way out of the tomb. As they emerged from the desert, the sun setting behind them, they knew they had achieved something extraordinary. They had conquered the curse of the Black Hollow Forest and the perils of the Sahara Desert, forging a legacy that would be remembered for generations. Captain Isabella Drake and her crew were more than treasure hunters, they were legends. Years later, Isabella would often sit by the fire, telling tales of their adventures to eager listeners. She spoke of the friendships they had forged, the challenges they had overcome, and the wonders they had discovered. Her heart swelled with pride and gratitude for the incredible journey that had shaped their lives. And though the world still held many secrets, Isabella knew that the greatest treasure was not the gold and jewels they had found, but the bond they shared, a bond that had withstood the test of time and adventure, proving that true wealth lies in the friendships and experiences that make life truly extraordinary. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the tale of Captain Isabella Drake and her fearless crew. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling adventures and captivating stories. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this story, so leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and stay curious. See you in our next story.